All right, hello and welcome. Today we are jumping into one of the most fascinating topics in all of biology, human reproduction. We're going to break down how it all works based on foundational biological texts, starting right at the beginning with the male reproductive system. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the basic reproductive blueprint. Then we'll walk through life's grand process, step by step. After that, we'll zoom right into the male anatomy, check out the sperm production factory, and wrap up with a really clever and critically cool design feature. Sound good? Let's go.
All right, first things first, we need to lay some groundwork. Let's talk about the two biggest ideas that really define how we as a species keep going.
So the first big word you need to know is viviparous. What does that mean? Well, simply put, unlike animals that lay eggs, humans give birth to live young. The baby develops and gets all its nutrients right inside the parent's body. It's a huge part of our whole reproductive strategy. And the second key idea, we reproduce sexually. Now this just means it takes two, right? You need genetic material from two different parents. We're talking about the fusion of a male gamete, which is the sperm, and a female gamete, the ovum, that come together to create a brand new person.
Okay, so how does this all actually happen? You know, it's not just one single moment, it's more like a carefully choreographed dance, a sequence of major biological steps. Let's take a look at what that sequence is.
Think of the whole thing like a biological relay race with 6 crucial stages. It kicks off with gametogenesis. That's just the fancy word for creating the sperm and the egg. Then comes insemination, where the sperm is transferred. That leads to fertilization, the moment they fuse. After that, the embryo has to stick the landing with implantation in the uterus. That kicks off the 9-month marathon called gestation, and it all ends at the finish line, parturition, which is, you guessed it, childbirth.
Okay, now that we've got the big picture, let's zoom in on what we're really here to talk about today, the male anatomy, the hardware that makes that first half of the process even possible. So, first, let's get our bearings. Where is all this stuff located? Well, the entire male reproductive system is found in the pelvis region. This spot makes a lot of sense, right? It offers protection, and it's a central hub for all the different interconnected parts.
And you can really break the whole system down into 4 main parts that all have to work together as a team. You've got the factories, that's the testes. You've got the highway system, the accessory ducts that move everything around. Then there are the glands, which provide all the supporting fluids. And finally, you have the delivery system itself, the external genitalia.
All right, let's really zero in on the heart of the operation now, the production powerhouses of the whole system. So, the testes, these are considered the primary male reproductive organs. And the reason is simple. This is where the magic happens. It's where the sperm are actually made. Literally everything else in the system is just there to support that process or to help deliver the final product.
And just to give you an idea of their size, we're not talking about something huge here. Each one of these powerhouses is only about 4 to 5 centimeters long. Pretty compact.
But here's what's really amazing, what they managed to pack inside that tiny space. It's not just one open area. No, each testis is divided into about 250 separate little compartments. Think about that. It's like a tiny factory with hundreds of different production rooms all working at once.
So what are these little factories actually doing all day? Well, they have 2 main jobs, and they're totally linked. Job number 1, the one everyone knows about, is making sperm. But job number 2 is just as crucial. They produce and release the primary male hormones called androgens. And those hormones are what drive the whole sperm production process and keep the entire system running. Okay, so we've covered what the testes do and what they look like on the inside. But now we gotta talk about where they are, because their location reveals something super fascinating and a piece of biological design that is just absolutely vital.
And this brings up a really good question, right? Think about it. Most of our super important organs are tucked safely away deep inside our bodies. So why on earth are the testes hanging out outside the main body cavity in a pouch called the scrotum? I mean, it seems kind of vulnerable, doesn't it? There must be a really good reason.
And the answer? It all comes down to temperature. It's a thermodynamic problem. Turns out our normal body temperature is actually way too hot for making sperm effectively.
So nature came up with this really elegant engineering solution. The scrotum basically acts like a natural air conditioner. Its whole job is to keep the testes at a very specific temperature, about 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius cooler than the rest of the body. And that very precise difference, that's the whole key.
And I really want to stress this isn't just a minor tweak for better performance. This lower temperature is absolutely essential for spermatogenesis. That's the process of sperm formation. Without this built-in cooling system, making healthy sperm just wouldn't happen effectively at all.
It's just a perfect example of that old saying in biology, form follows function. The body had a critical problem, it's too hot inside, and the scrotum is the simple, elegant, anatomical solution.
So, we've seen the factory, and we understand why it's located where it is. But what about the actual assembly line? I mentioned those 250 little compartments, right? Well, inside each one are these tiny, supercoiled tubes where the sperm are literally born. So the question is, what exactly is going on inside those tubes? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into next time. See you then!